I wanted to make the video that nobody else has been making. I have been struggling for months now, flipping back and forth between, do I want to use my Apple Watch or do I want to switch to Garmin? And I mean like months, like probably 9 months I've been going back and forth between the two. I've been wearing the Apple Watch since I think the Series 1, Series 0, and it's been fine. Like what I've realized is I have been using an Apple Watch with my smartphone for longer than I used a smartphone without an Apple Watch, if that makes sense. And so basically I'm used to the whole smart connected experience with a watch. I'm more used to that than without a smartwatch, which has been weird over the years to recognize and realize that, but it makes total sense because I've worn one for so long. I had the Series either 1 or 0. Like I said, I can't remember. That one was quite bad, but then eventually I upgraded the Series 5. That was good. And then I used that all the way up until the Ultra 1, and then I switched over to Garmin for a while and then realized, well, I kind of missed the Apple Watch, so I picked up the Ultra 2, and now I'm kind of stuck between both camps, and I cannot honestly, for the life of me, figure out which one I want to keep. And so again, this is just my experience with it. This is not a spec for spec comparison. I've seen so many people make those videos and they deep dive into everything, and you get the whole, Garmin's a fitness tracker with smart features, and if you're a rugged outdoors person and you want that, then that's the one you go for. And Apple is the smart watch with fitness features, and if you're the tech nerd that likes your lattes, and you go for this one. Like, I get it. I get that comparison. But to be honest, I still struggle between the two of them. And it depends. I flip back and forth. Like in the morning times when I'm like motivated and like, let's get the day and let's go, and I got my coffee, I am like all Garmin. But then the afternoon, the evenings when I'm getting tired and I just want to relax and I'm looking for that like distraction hit, I like the colorful screen of the Apple Watch. And I've tried many models. I mean, I've been on the Ultra for a while. I tried the Series 10 for a little bit. I just prefer the battery life of the Ultra. But on the Garmin side of things, I tried the Fenix 7X Pro. I tried the Fenix 7. I tried the Fenix 8 AMOLED, the Instinct 3 Solar, the Instinct 3 AMOLED, the Instinct 2. And so on the Garmin side, there's a lot of things that I love about it. A lot of things I don't love. I mean, their lineup is entirely confusing and convoluted, but I love the fact that it's solar charging, got a flashlight, and that's kind of what it came down to for me. This is the Instinct 3 Solar Tactical Edition. After all the switching and the using and the searching, I landed on, like, if I'm going to use a Garmin, I want an all black look. I like actually the Instinct lineup. I like how kind of rugged it feels and chunky. I tend to be a little rough on stuff sometimes, and so if I bang this up, it doesn't really bother me, versus like the higher end fancier ones. I know they're titanium and sapphire and all that, but plastic just works better for me. I like it. I think it looks better. I wanted that, and then I wanted the flashlight. Solar was a nice bonus. Didn't need it, but it was nice if it had it, and so this kind of fit the bill for me because that flashlight is just, it's awesome. And I'll get into that in a minute. And so the things that I like about the Garmin is I actually like the MIP display, the memory and pixel display. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the OLED, the AMOLED screen of the Apple Watch and the higher end Garmin's. Not even higher end, I guess. You can get AMOLED in the cheaper versions too. I hit a point in my life where I do not like having a colorful screen on my wrist. And I think that kind of came with having kids. I have 3 kids under the age of 5, and so they're constantly like on my arms grabbing me, and they're wanting to like see my watch and touch it and push buttons, and the amount of like panic, like text, phone calls like that have been made is just like, no, that doesn't work. What I've done with my kids on my Apple Watch is I'll just put it on water lock, so that like if they're all over me and touching things and all, well, except for the flashlight, then it doesn't do anything except for if you scroll, but still you have to like hold the button down to get the water out, obviously. And so that's kind of a workaround I figured out on the Apple Watch. But aside from that, I mean, I put this on and it's nice, but the smart features are just not really there for me. I mean, I can respond to messages and take phone calls, but I honestly never do that. Siri either doesn't hear me or she gets it wrong and it doesn't send. Like, the frustration of having to deal with the smart features in this, it's easier to just pull my phone out of my pocket and push 2 buttons and it's done. The smart home automations, turning on lights and seeing all that, there's such a long delay. It just doesn't work awesome. And so realistically, what I wear this for is just the colorful display, closing those rings, which I don't like. I'll talk to you about in a minute, but more just being able to quickly see information. Like, honestly, wearing a watch, I look at the weather just as much as I do with the time. And so for me to be able to quickly see weather, time, do I have a text message waiting there or not? What's my next calendar event? Like, that's literally all I use it for. Beyond that, it's just kind of fancy toys that requires a lot of attention. The Apple Watch experience, if I could sum it up, is like, this is such a great smart device, but I have turned off and dumbed down so much of the functionality because it's either frustrating or noisy or extra that I just kind of like take it and put most of the stuff aside. So it's just going to be a watch that only notifies me of phone calls and text messages. That's all it does. And then I can quickly like respond to them if I want to, but other than that, it's about it. And then it needs to be charged about every day and a half. And so that's kind of been my Apple Watch experience. That's what I've gotten it to over the years. Again, kind of stale, looking for something different. I missed having a regular old watch, you know, like a mechanical tactile. I mean, this is a quartz watch, but something that's just basic, one trick pony, does it really well, right? And so for me, the Garmin kind of fits that bill a little bit better, where it's very basic, but I can see, like, I need to switch my face around, but I like seeing when the sunrise and sunset is, so I know how much daylight I have to go play with the kids outside before bed. I like seeing my elevation, because as I travel around, I'm a nerd that way, seeing my solar stats, but I can switch it out to a different watch face, where this is one that I use for a while, being able to see my body battery, and then if my phone is on and connected, but I can quickly see all that information if I want to. So it's really, the app isn't on my phone, which that's a thing that's annoying, is the Apple Watch does an excellent job of being a standalone device. Wherever your phone is, you could have your phone on the other side of the room, and if your phone's on Wi-Fi, or if your watch is on Wi-Fi, you can pretty much do everything you need to, regardless of where your phone is. This is like, the phone has to be open. You don't have to like have it open on screen. It just has to be kind of open in the background and nearby. Like if you walk outside or if you get too far away, it'll lose connection. So that is a little bit of a frustrating thing with the Garmin. On paper, there's nothing on this that I am losing from this for what I do with the watch. Now, sure, I can't respond to text messages, or I can't take phone calls or control my smart home lights on this, but I never did that anyway. Every time I tried to do that on here, I would just get frustrated with the experience. And on the flip side, I mean, this has an awesome flashlight that I use all the time, because I'll sleep with it and then use it as an alarm so I don't wake up my wife. We have a newborn baby, and so I can get up silently, quietly, without waking up anybody else. But kids, my other kids are always getting up in the middle of the night, and we've recently had some sickness in the house, so I had to like give them medicine at certain times, and I can set my alarm for 11 a.m. or I'm sorry, I've been having to get up at 1 a.m., 3 a.m. to like give certain medicine doses. And so when it buzzes and I just hit my flashlight and I'm off, and I don't even need to be awake or see anything, like, it's been amazing to have this. And then the solar charging has been amazing. I mean, I'm at 27 days. It's Thursday. I last plugged this thing in on Sunday morning, and I'm still at 96%. We went camping for the last couple days, and it just kept 100% charged the whole time because we were out in the sun the whole time. So I basically lost 4% from Tuesday to Thursday across 2 days. And so that's been amazing. It's just kind of, you put it on, you forget it, you take it off, and then it's just there. It's off. So it's been an awesome watch. And I've been, like I say, caught between the two camps, because when I wear this, I think this is great. It's out of my way. It just exists as a watch. But then I kind of get tempted, like, oh, but the screen but the features, but it'd be kind of nice to like not be tethered to my phone all the time, and it'd be kind of nice to be able to utilize callbacks and text backs. But again, it just doesn't do it. It just doesn't do it for me. And I mean, people talk about how, oh, it has the fall and crash detection, which is legitimate. I do mountain bike a lot. I do hike a lot. And so that is legitimate. But I think that's a manufactured selling point from Apple. You know, the whole message is, if you don't have this device, you will literally die. It's not true. It's not true at all. This Garmin does just fine. And true, it doesn't have offline maps. I mean, I utilized the maps on the Phoenix when I was testing it out, and it was super nice. But it's not $1,000, nice. Like I always just use the offline maps on my phone, or I study them ahead of time, or most of the time, 99% of the time, I know exactly where I'm at and I know where I'm going. I'm just prepared that way. I'm not going to go out into the woods or into the mountains and not have any idea of where I am. I'm not dumb. And so, yeah, the Instinct has honestly just been an awesome watch for me, and I've loved wearing it. So the Apple Watch is just one of those things that's kind of gotten stale over time. I mean, it's just lifeless, it's soulless, and this is just, it's timeless, man. If you didn't know it was smart, you wouldn't know it. It's such a cool looking watch. The one complaint that I've had with it, and this band, in case you're wondering, is actually a G-Shock band that I had laying around. That's why it doesn't fit the bezels or the lugs quite right, because it's meant for a G-Shock, but it's comfortable. I've been kind of getting like this little rash on my wrist from some of the silicone bands, especially some aftermarket ones that I've used, that just kind of make contact and rub there. And if it gets sweaty or if it gets wet and I don't dry it right away, it'll just create like a blister. And so that's happened a couple times for me. And so I much prefer these fabric bands, and this just, it looks good, I think. But I've got one just like this coming today to try that out so that this can go back on my G-Shock. But otherwise, it's been a good watch. The other complaint that I've had is actually this sensor. And a lot of people are upset that with the new Instinct 3s, it's not the latest gen sensor. Like, to be honest, I don't care. I use the Phoenix 8 with the larger, newer sensor. I thought it was more uncomfortable than this. I think this is a little more comfortable to wear. This hurts the wrist less. And it just, the metrics are just negligible for myself. I don't run, but I do like to hike. I like to track gym workouts, and I like to be active for sure, but I'm not like down to the wire measuring everything. And so it just doesn't matter to me. But this has actually bothered me a little bit. And it's something that just kind of, I don't know if it's the way that it sits on the wrist, but it just, or if it's a band that I'm wearing too tight, but it's kind of giving me a little bit of like wrist pain and hand pain lately, and some cramping. I'm editing this video and I've solved the band issue actually. So using a fabric band, number one, really helps, but not wearing the watch so tight was the solution to my problem. I was wearing it too tight and it was just cutting off circulation. And so when I loosened it up just a little bit so that it wasn't clamping down so tight, wrist pain is gone. So that's the solution to that one. Again, I'm still fiddling with the band to try to figure that out, because it just hasn't been an issue before. Whereas with the Apple Watch, you have a much larger sensor. I mean, this whole thing is your sensor area versus that little guy. And so this just sits kind of like in there, and it's more spread out across the whole wrist bone, the top of the wrist bone area. So it kind of gets more contact area, and it's lower profile, right? And versus this guy, which sits a little bit higher, and it's a little bit sharper. And so you kind of have more of like a pressure point. It's like somebody's finger pressing there as opposed to like maybe two fingers. But trade-offs, right? This is a heavier watch. This is lighter. So just trade-offs. The phone experience on these watches. One thing that I really struggled with on the Apple Watch was seeing the data. I mean, you can see your rings and you can see your health stuff, but I couldn't find a data replacement for Garmin. But one thing that I found is this app called Bevel. And I was using Athletic for a while, didn't care for it. But Bevel actually has been super cool. My VO2 max is awful, don't make fun of me. Bevel has been super cool to be able to visualize all the information and just really translate all the info that you're getting from the Apple Watch. And it costs like $50 for the year, which I know, another subscription, whatever, but I paid for it, $50 for the year. And it's been so good and so helpful to just see all my data, all my information. The sleep, and this is one of the best features, is it has a sleep alarm built into the app. And I know there's other apps for it, but it measures as I'm sleeping, and I tell it I want to wake up between 5:30 and 6 every day. And so it's measuring my sleep stages, and it will automatically wake me up within that range at the best time when I'm in the lightest mode of sleep. And that's actually been game changing for me to get up. That's something that the Garmin does not have, and I wish it did. That's one thing that I just absolutely love about the Apple Watch here, and this app specifically. But otherwise, it gives me all the same, very similar information, similar to Garmin, where it gives me my stress levels. It gives me kind of that body battery metric. It does a super good job. And so this app has genuinely really closed the gap between the Apple Watch and the Garmin for me, data-wise. All the other issues are there, like I mentioned, like the distractibility and whatnot. But as far as data goes and just understanding and seeing body data, this app has been amazing for that. And it's really made a compelling case for me to just stick with the Apple Watch because of what it gives me. And that point's been made before, and I truly believe that, like here's Garmin's app for comparison. I mean, it works, all the information, all the data in there, right? But there is just something about seeing it presented so clean and pretty in here. This is the Apple way, right? And then this is kind of more like spreadsheet, basic Garmin, and then pretty presentation. And so this app has really brought the Apple Watch up to par. But that's really kind of the story, right? It's just another app. It's just another app. That's how Apple works. They rely on their developers to do the heavy lifting for the experience for people with their products, as opposed to Garmin just shipping a product that is complete in and of itself with the free software experience included. And so that's really been a tough call when it comes to switching. Do I stay with Apple with the Bevel app or not? And the reality is, I mean, people have said this a lot too, is that to be honest, especially with apps like this, the Apple Watch is a better fitness tracker than the Garmin is a smartwatch, right? This is a fitness tracker with some smartwatch features, and this is a smartwatch with some fitness features. There is going to be some overlap. Apple is the better all-around device. You can control your smart home, take phone calls, message people, check your emails, do all these things and still track a workout and get information like that from the Bevel app, understand your sleep patterns, understand all of this, create workout plans. You just have to charge it every day and a half. You can't do the smart stuff on here. You can do all the workout and all the health stuff on here, but not the smart stuff. But I think that's kind of my point to the whole thing, is I'm tired of the smart stuff, because just because it's on here doesn't mean you need to use it. And it also doesn't mean that it works well. You also have a phone to be able to do all that stuff if and when you need it. And so smart features aside, I kind of looked at the two and I went, well, I'm not really utilizing the smart features. I don't actually like utilizing the smart features. I just want something that's basic, out of my way, no frills, doesn't require battery charging all this time and like maintenance. It's like a Tamagotchi. I got to keep this thing alive all the time. It's kind of ridiculous. If you're a 90s kid or 2000s kid, you'll understand that one. But that's what I wanted, and just like free fitness, basic information, and the Garmin fits the bill on all those. So just because it's not smart doesn't mean it's not good. And to me, it's actually a good thing. People are like, oh, it's not smart, it doesn't have these smart features. I don't want it to. I got the Phoenix 8, which had the like voice control, and then it had like the smartphone assistant, so I could actually talk to Siri through the watch. And those things were nice sometimes, but they're just extra features, extra fluff that you pay for, that you pay a lot of money for. And I just did not like it. I didn't care for it. And so this being dumb, quote unquote dumb, with no smart features is absolutely my favorite, and it's what I'm going to be sticking with. But that's kind of been my overarching thoughts on this whole watch journey. It's been months now, but I finally landed on, like, if I'm going to wear a watch, I want something that's out of the way, that just exists, that I don't have to think about, can still give me some health metrics if I'm like feeling off that day, or if my heart rate's like crazy, or if I'm just like, hey, I just want to go for a hike and I want to track it and just get some metrics without killing my phone GPS. I can do that with this, and it's very, very low maintenance, and the flashlight is just killer, because I consider getting an Instinct 2 again, but the flashlight is just too good for me. And so yeah, this thing is just completely low maintenance, out of your way, like the most minimal but functional watch that I could find. Like I said, don't get me wrong, I love these standard old-fashioned analog watches for sure, but it's just not the same as like the function and the tools that you get out of this, which I love. And then this guy's just, the Apple Watch is just kind of overkill, and it's a little soulless, a little lifeless. You wear this and you think, yeah, this is cool, and this is just kind of like computer on your wrist. I'm not really utilizing it. So those are my thoughts. I'm going to be sticking with the Garmin for a while, trying to figure out the band thing and the whole wrist thing to see if I can get a fit better. This guy is going to be sold, the Apple Watch, because I'm just kind of over it. I'm done. And yeah, like I said, not your typical video review, because there are so many out there, but this thing is just amazing for what it has been. You could beat it up, you can go swimming with it, take it underwater. I mean, you can go on a 100-mile trek, 3-day hike, do anything you can think of with this watch, and it'll still have battery for weeks afterwards. Just love the thing. and super excited about wearing it and switching over to it. But it is a little bittersweet. I've been on Apple Watch for a long time, but I still have those basic notifications and connectedness to my phone. All I want are calls and texts that come through. That's exactly what I get with this. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you listening to my thoughts and me rambling. It's taken me a while to formulate all this, but I didn't want to just give you another review. I wanted to give you some actual realistic thoughts from an average everyday person. And so that's what we got. Thank you so much for watching.